Hi, and welcome to the Blender Render Roast, the show where you submit your artwork, we review it, and give you feedback to improve. I'm today's host, Daerik. So the first render we got is from LaserCat. Is this kitchen scene that used freestyle to get some more of an artistic look to it. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I don't like the way it looks. I think LaserCat used the automatic freestyle thing, like detects edges and does everything on its own. Because of it, we got a few errors here. Like, let me reduce the size of this giant mouse. Oh boy, if I remember how it's, yeah, there you go. So we got an empty edge there. There we go. Red. There's some sort of duplicate. I don't know why he made sort of fire coming from the frying pan there, and this one didn't go all the way down. There's a duplicate here too. So I think when you use freestyle, you should, most of the time, select the edges yourself and mark them. For example, here on the cabinets, you should have marked the inside as well. On the juice cartridge, the juice box, you should have marked those edges as well. Looks like fire, but maybe it is smoke. It's an empty plane visualization, but yeah, it could be smoke. Look better. Yeah, I agree. Another problem with the scene, the cabinets, they are very weirdly spaced out. Let's start with the in-between here. So having that wooden pole in the middle means when you open them, there's this thing blocking your hand from reaching stuff. And you also have a lot of empty space here, so for this to work, you'd have to open the cabinet and you'd have to reach behind the door there to store your stuff, so that's inefficient. What you should have done is made doors over here, and another one over here, with just a little space in between the sections. The glass one works a little better because it's an individual space where you want stuff to be seen, like cups, plates. But when you have the double door thing here, I suggest you put them way closer so you can have use the space better. You know what I mean. What else? Yeah, I should have marked all the way around the buttons. Don't leave the edges discontinued like that. Is that a blender centrifuge? The thing you use to make cake? It seems a little way too detailed for this style. Mainly because of the reflections here on the metal parts. I think when you use freestyle, it's more of a cartoonish look, so you should go for more solid colors instead of realism. It's super white too, like there's no backsplash on the kitchen here. The wall is white, the fridge is white, the cabinets are white. Maybe using some wood here, having an aluminum fridge. Also, the fridge is super slim, I just noticed. It's like a beer fridge, the only thing that fits in here. It should have gone way over here. I think he pushed it so far back because he wanted the front door to be seen from this angle. And for that to work, all I have to do is rotate the fridge. Eliminate the backspace over there that you don't need. Hey HR, what's up? You also have these detailed reflections on some surfaces, but the floor that is made out of marble is not reflecting light properly. I don't know if you just use a solid JPEG image for the texture, but you should have done something about the roughness and specular of your mapping here, because it doesn't look too good. It's super rough, as you can see by the lighting coming here. There should have been a lot more shiny spots. So to review, the cabinets are too spaced out. They should be close together, using as much space as possible for efficient storage. When using freestyle, I really recommend you select the edges you want to be made black, the edges you want to use the freestyle. This way you have more control and can have way better results, although it takes a little more work. Careful when you use detailed materials with reflections, because it doesn't contrast well with freestyle. Also, the fridge is wrong. So yeah, thanks LaserCat for your submission. Next one is from that guy. Would have, I don't know. It's a super nice looking scene. There are unique paintings, they make sense. There's one that is just dropped here for no apparent reason, but it looks cool. A super weird chair. Nice reflections on the floor. It looks a bit strange here, but nothing major. It's just something that caught my eye. The shadow here. I don't know if the carpet, the tapestry is super thick for the shadow to be like that, or if it's just kind of floating in the air. The sofa looks gorgeous. I don't know how you did this. Probably sculpting. So yeah, good job on that. Nice candles. There is some subsurface scattering on the wax candles. Good job. Although it is a bit much, I think. Because the light is over here and you can kind of see inside of it, so that doesn't look right. And what else? Some plants here and there. Good, good. Oh, right. The lamps. The lamps is the biggest problem here in the scene. Mainly because of the wires you used. I don't know if this would look cool in real life, but to make it in 3D is really hard using wires, because right now you are defying gravity here, unless this is a rigid wire, like copper wire, but that wouldn't make sense. It looks to be electrical wire made out of rubber, so it would fall off straight down. When it curves back to the center, it looks alright. Like over here, it's okay. But when you have something hanging from it, it should be straight. I'm gonna make a... I forgot how to make a line in Krita. There you go. Should be straight down. There's a light source here, but the shade of the lamp is turned off. Like, you can see through the candles, but you can't see through the shade. That's not right. And the light should be going over the top as well. It's just a metal cage on top holding the lamp. So yeah, this is incorrect. This is the biggest problem. I really like the windows with the rainy effect. Good job on that. The sofa is also great. Thickness here I mentioned. The table. That's a very poorly structured table. You have two pairs of legs. They are connected here. And the only way this would work is if it is glued to the marble top here, or if it is bolted. But if it is bolted, there's a huge risk that the marble would break. So I would have included a couple support beams connecting the legs. That will make it way more stable. Yeah. Some DVDs there. A Bible, it seems. A super dark cover for a book there. Not sure about that one. And I don't know why this is orange. Still a great scene. The walls are colored, the floor is nice. I really like this thing, although... yeah, it's not properly aligned. So he must have used a plane for this part, like a drawer. But when he UV mapped it, something must have gone wrong, because this is not going straight. This one should be here. You clearly see a diagonal fall off. This part as well. The holes on the lattice under windows are in more focus than object in window. They are in more focus. You mean the depth of field? Looks to be like just a painting there, but I don't really agree. Maybe you meant focus as in your eyes get drawn to it, but I don't think it's calling your eyes to the objects. They are just props for the scene. It's more of an overall look. And why on earth would you have a wind chime indoors? Yeah, so let's recap. The light shade should have some subsurface scattering or some sort of fake effect to show that light is coming through, and the light should also come on top. Maybe use the spotlight, and that's your problem. You should have used a point light. Include some support beams for the table, otherwise it is super unstable and not safe. The wires on the lamps here, they should be going straight down, the ones holding the lamps. I don't know why you would include the wind chime indoors. Maybe you look at I've never seen an indoor scene with a wind chime indoor. This looks like the living room of some hipster who... I'm reading chat, by the way. It doesn't show up on stream because it's on YouTube and we have the system for Twitch, but we still haven't gotten our channel back from Twitch because of an authentication problem. So Narda says, this looks like the living room of some hipster who likes designer furniture. Makes sense for an artist to make something like that, because that's a super weird chair. That's a normalish table. I don't know. I don't know if I'd have one as a coffee table like it is here. Normally, you would want something made out of glass. And the sofa. Now that I think about the sofa, well, the sofa seat is super low. Like imagine a human sitting down here. Uh, I can't draw. I'm not sure if he measured it, but it seems like it should be a little bit higher for a sofa. Yeah. The paintings are good. I don't think you should have used Mickey Mouse here. That's a dangerous move. The human potato. Yeah. So yeah, maybe include some pillows while you're at it. Would be a great addition. Thanks, would have. That's your real name? Wow. I don't know what country it is from. For your submission. Next one we have submission by JC. It's also his new profile picture, it seems. His new avatar. It's a planet, but it's not necessarily Earth. I can see you use the Fresnel effect to get a cool reflection on the water. Good job. The clouds are great. You can see the terrain there. And with altitude, it becomes a beige or beige for mountains, and on the poles it's white for ice. Maybe you did use some sort of map generator for this texture. Nordic name says Nerda. Yeah, I can see that. Now you can also see a bit from here on the dark side. Now this planet doesn't have a moon, and that means there's nothing to reflect light over here, unless there's something on the empty space here that we can't see. But I suppose you would have modeled the moon and shown it. It would look way better, like having a little planet there. Yeah, an idea for you. So because there's not a moon, the dark side of the planet should be pitch black. Like you see the moon, it's pitch black on the dark side, unless you have some light here. So you should have made this darker. Another problem is you took half of the planet with the dark side. I think you would be way better. You would still show the spherical curvature if you made it like a crescent moon. So most of it is on light. You can see it clearly. And just a tiny smidge is dark, and then you can have your transition there. It'll look dope. So yeah, about the rest, very few light spots for space. I assume you used either you made some objects that you distance. No, that wouldn't. I don't think that. How would you have done this and get so few stars? Maybe it's just a plane with some dots painted over it? Yeah. You can easily find a space HDRI, and there's a bunch of stars, a few nebulas. It looks really cool. Nerda says, if there weren't a moon, there shouldn't be any lights on the ground since life on the planet would be significantly more unlikely. Interesting thought. Now, I don't know how a moon improves the life expectancy, the life likeliness on a planet, but yeah, he didn't make any light sources. You can't see, at least you can see clearly, points of activity. It's just a barren planet with an ecosystem similar to Earth. This side would be way clearer, way more lively if there were lights in here. Okay, let's recap. So I think you should have done like a crescent moon for the Earth here in order to show more of the planet's surface. Adding some sort of moon would be a very cool addition. You'd make it more like Earth. You could have done even like 2 moons to be a little more sci-fi-ish, or a moon of a moon. Ooh. Orbiting here. Try finding background images or an HDRI for space, because it's really complicated to pretend there are millions and millions of stars in the background. It's easier to just get a real picture and rotate it a bit, I don't know, just to make it more realistic. Nerda says, I think the lack of stars makes sense because of camera exposure. That's true. The planet here is reflecting a lot of light, and that's why. And it would make sense. You can see a little bloom here. It would make sense for the stars to not show. But still, it would be way better looking if you could see more stars. Was that it? I think so, yeah. So thanks JC for your submission. Next one is from Lasercat again. He says, here's a render a group that I am in made. We all made something in this render. Also, it is still a work in progress. So credits go to Proton, JC, and Lasercat himself. And anyone else he forgot. Bad move to forget someone, dude. So let's see. A lot of neon and a lot of purple, so I assume the style is sci-fi. I really dislike how there's a huge block of darkness here. You could have just rotated the camera a little bit over here so you'd see more of the light. That's cool. Like having a little bit of empty space, it's okay. And it's even more okay if you have something on the foreground, like a plant here, or maybe the silhouette of a robot. I don't know. Something that you can look at other than just the space you have to ignore mentally. I don't know what this is. It looks like an old mattress. In fact, I don't know what this place is. There's a yellow line indicating some sort of factory or something. Potato. That's all I can draw. Potato mans. With a mouse, at least. I can draw a human quite well when sketching on pencil, but I don't have a tablet, so that's not possible. This door here is the focus of the scene, but there's nothing there, mainly wires. One of the guys that worked on it, I think it was Proton, asked me if it was okay to submit an artwork that several people worked at. And in our discussion, he sent me an image of a very detailed humanoid that I was expecting to find on the scene because he looked super cool, but he's not here. At least I cannot see it. So that guy you sent me, Proton, should be somewhere over here, maybe standing on the door in a cool pose, you know? Hands on the pocket. What else? A lot of equipment here, just a bunch of junk laying around. There are lights, but they don't illuminate the scene at all. Like there's this light, but there's just a glow effect. There's a bunker, a cabinet, that thing over there, right in front of the light, and it's not catching any white at all. It's only being caught over there. It's very strange. You can see a little bit of blue here, but I would expect for a sci-fi scene for things to be more reflective or less rough or glossy. Yeah. The light source here is super strong. The way it's being caught, that means there's a panel of light over there or something. The wires are strange, coming from the ceiling also. There are some pipes there. I can't see them clearly, but yeah. Oh, this is actually a problem. Yeah. You will never see a pipe doing this. They don't have curved pipes. When they need to make a curve with pipes, they take a straight piece, they connect it with a curved one, and then there's another straight piece. For that to work, you'd have a straight piece, and then the noodle one separately, and then another straight piece. This is very inefficient use of metal. So yeah, I still don't know what this is. I don't get the point of the scene. It's very convoluted, doesn't tell me much. You try doing something with the lighting, but it didn't work out too well. Another recommendation, when making neon lights, never just give it an emissive material like this. Neon lights, they have the center a lot brighter than the edges. So what I usually do in those cases is add a Fresnel node on a mix shader for two emissive shaders. One being white for the inside and the other having some color for the edges. So the inside would be white and you would still get the blue glow. So to recap, you have to do something about this empty space here. Either just remove it or add something to it. Do the little trick with the Fresnel for the neon lights. If you're gonna add lights anywhere, make sure they are caught on objects to show they actually work. This is how pipes work, and I really would wow, sorry. I really would have liked to see the character you showed me in here. But yeah, thanks Lasercat and crew for the render. Next one is from a squirrel. He says everything is procedural. I assume it's just the materials because you can have procedural object as well, but this is a well-modeled ship. It looks very real. I like the white spots on the water. They look a little bit strange from over here. It's like fingerprints when up close and when you don't have a lot of waves. But here they look great, like the lighting is being refracted in strange ways on the distance. So cool trick, doesn't really work close up. As for the ship, it looks like it is just one big metal plate. Ships usually are composed of soldered plates together. Soldered? They are bolted and I forgot a word, like fused together. So it would be ideal if you at least extruded a few parts to show some. I think I might be wrong. Welded. Thank you. Let's actually try and find a battleship image online. Battle Cruise? No, that'll be Star Wars. It's what's it called? The one where planes come aboard. So yeah, this is a battleship, and you can see a lot of metal plates welded together. This one looks a lot like yours, and as you can see, there are lines defining the shape. Yours doesn't have that, but for a rusted metal texture, that looks good. Yeah, if you just added the wedges, the lines, and a few bolts, you look really cool. Very well modeled. Nice cannons, some artillery, random windows. Looks like people can climb there for no real reason. I don't know why it is so pixelated. Yeah, very low resolution. Nice crane there. Do they have like lifeboats or something? I feel like very unsafe right now. I think this was your reference. Yeah, judging by that tower right there. Something like that. Maybe this one. Yeah, there's a pattern here. Some flags, cool. Flags. Didn't have any flags, I imagine. Yeah. What this channel is about. So this is the Blender Discord channel. It's for right now we only use it for the Blender render roast. It's to review the render from Blender artists and give them feedback to improve, point out what they did wrong, what they could have done to get a better result, maybe give some tips. So it's all about helping the 3D community. And if you want to be part of it, there's a link in the description to join the Discord, talk to people, get some help there. So yeah, that's what this channel is all about. Okay, what else? There are no clouds, and on OpenSea you would see some clouds, no doubt. Or at least they would be nice. You could be like a... I'm missing all my words. When it's super cloudy and everything looks grayish and out of contrast. Okay, let's recap what I said. I like your trick with the water, with the white spots to show the reflection of the sun. It works at a distance, but not close up. So you'd have to think of something else. You could how? If you could change it from spots to streaks, like little waves, maybe it would work better, but I can't be sure. Needs foam around the ship. Good point, very good point. Thank you to Rainer. The ship is either moving or standing still. If it is moving, the water should be going away, although that's really hard to do. You'd have to make a separate model with the waves on top of your ocean. And the other option is it is standing still, in which case the waves are bashing against it and forming some foam here. So it would be a lot more white around the ship. Very good point from Rainer. The ship hull is made out of several metal plates. So you should have some division, some bolted plates divided here. They kind of blend in together, but you can clearly see a separation from one plate to another. They kind of blend together because they usually have the same color. That's the only thing. All the other aspects of the ship are well modeled. Nice cannons, nice attention to detail. It seems you forgot to add the big antenna thingy here that I don't know the purpose of, but maybe that was just the final cherry that would take you another 2 hours to do, so you just, yeah, it's fine like that. And I don't know why it is so pixelated. I suspect you used like a Sobol filter when compositing. But yeah, I would have liked a more higher resolution image or something. Either way, very good job. Oh yeah, and also clouds. Clouds would be good. So thanks, Squirrel. Yeah, it is a squirrel. I thought it was a koala from a distance, for your submission. Next one is from Mr. Guacacado texting. So it's a cartoonish looking bunny. Okay, the expression on her face is really good. I like it. Just like Not Jenny again. Texting me at this time. At this time. I don't like how her limbs are super cylindrical. Like over here. Everything is the same size, you know. Although cartoons are like that. Maybe if it was thinner. Or maybe if her knee wasn't where the sock is. Or do they really have socks that go up to the knee? Oh. So Trainer says the battleship looks like it might be over sharpened. So Squirrel try really sharpening the image. Maybe to get better reflections here. That would make sense. And that took a toll on the overall quality. Thigh high socks. Oh yeah, but that's thigh high, not knee high. Oh wait, the thigh is right on top of the knee. I saw they meant like the ones that go over here, you know? Socks go over there. It looks like her thigh is way longer than the rest of her leg. Maybe it's just my imagination. Yeah, they're about the same size. So yeah, it was just me. It is okay. There's the vision there. The arm is simply folding. That's alright. No fingers. Okay. This is cool. Like a little hairdo for the bunny. Having one ear different than the other might have been cool, but it's not a problem. I wish the sofa was a little more round, more comfortable, you know. It's like she is leaning on a cinder block here. Maybe putting a pillow behind her would look better. Nerda says a picture over here be a good idea. Yeah, I do agree. Good point. Even like a picture of a bunny family here would be good. Yeah, let's just draw the whole family. Whatever. They're a family. A little house. There's a tree. That'll be good. And maybe a wallpaper? I don't know. It's just a lot of blue on the scene. There's blue here, blue here. All of her clothes are blue. Maybe using some green or orange for contrast would be good. I'm having trouble deciding if the whole clayishness, roundness of her body is good for the style or if it would look better if it were more realistic. Like there was a little bit of depth on the ears. If she had a proper elbow here to fold onto. Same for the knee. And if the feet... Wait. Okay, now this one is very strange. I don't think the height over here is the same as this one. It'd be a little absurd. So this foot should be thinner. I don't know why it is so large. Maybe something to do with the rigging and the posing. This reminds Terrainer of Roblox. Okay, potato pudding. God damn it. Or Minecraft. No, not for me. Every phone should have a camera. Let's just get that out of the way. We added some sort of lighting to the phone, but it's not going into her eyes. It's going to this part. Maybe because you attached it to the phone and you rotated it like that. So either rotated so her eyes are meeting, like she's doing the oh, I can't take this anymore eye look, but she wouldn't move her whole head, I think, away from the phone. Maybe. I think it'll look better if her eyes were lit up from the screen. Yeah. The texture work is okay. Oh, adding some folds to the skirt might be good. And definitely try and make the back of the sofa more roundish, like an actual pillow. Every phone should have a camera. RIP Nokia 1995. No phone had camera at that time, I think. We started having cameras when we got the flip phones, right? We could. Getting a bit of roundness here for comfort. So let's recap. You could try editing the model a little bit to get a little more realistic, like the depth of the ears, getting the joints properly. That's your decision. If you like the style, then that's fine. I think you should add a little black dot on the back of the phone just to simulate the camera. Maybe 2 for a lantern. I think the screen should be pointed at her eyes, even though she's doing the weird look. Adding a picture on the wall would be a good idea. And a little something to look at besides the bunny. The sofa is super hard surface. You should try making it more round and comfortable. Try adding a pillow behind the bunny. There is something wrong with her feet. They don't seem to match. And I think you should have shorter socks. That's a mouthful. Like going over here. Most. Terrainer says the seam between the neck and the head should be addressed. Yeah. Because her head is basically a sphere, there's a lot left off here. So if you make it less round, like this, I don't know if it would take away too much of the style. But currently she doesn't have a neck. It's not really a problem, I think. But there is a seam here. There is a connection. Maybe they're not connected. It's just a sphere on top. Yeah. You can go back on the stream if you want to. And then you can skip the parts where I go on a tangent. But the video will be available right after the stream, so you can watch when you can watch my review of your work. So to recap, or was I already recapping? I was already recapping. Sorry. There's a lot of blue on the scene as well. Everything is blue except the sofa and the bunny's skin, also the phone. So I think the background should be a different color, maybe green, perhaps beige. Your decision. But yeah, it's a cool style. I'll give you that. Thank you, Mr. Guacacaro, for your submission. Next one is from HP 2009. Now here's a realistic scene. So there's this dude. He's in the middle of nowhere. There's some dirt and some snow, so it's cold. And he's on top of a van, apparently crying. The character is good. Nice hair. Good pose of the hands. I don't know why he's wearing yoga pants or skinny jeans. I think this part should be a little more loose or something. Being sockless, not having socks or shoes in a place where there's snow on top of a metal vehicle, that's crazy. So yikes there. Very nice clouds. It might be just an image, but they look good. There's a water tower for some reason. Maybe there's a building where we can't see. The texture on the van. The texture is good, super rusty, but it doesn't work on a car. Unless this has been abandoned for over 5 years. Without anyone taking care of it. It's having a lot of rust over here near the tires, in the back, on top. That's okay, you can understand that. But over here doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Are those drawings on frosted windows? Very good job if they are. You should not have this window part here. They usually don't connect like that. But it's a van. Wait. Yeah, this is transparent, and here is a metal part, so there's something wrong there. Maybe you meant to do a double-sided face, and it's not. Has a $1,000 hoodie and $600 skinny jeans, but no footwear. Well, we can't see any brand, so. Oh, also, it's a Volkswagen. I just noticed. What about the tire? Oh yeah, there's something wrong here. Because when you change a tire, there are some bolts you have to get loose, and there are no bolts here, so there should be like the rim, I think it's called, over there. And I would have made super dirty and deflated tires because this vehicle is so old. So yeah, just dropping there, and a lot of dirt and mud on the tire would be good. It makes little sense for there to be snow over here and not on top of the vehicle. So adding snow to the top of the vehicle would be a good idea. It doesn't look like there's a window here where it should be. I can see a little bit of a seam here, which might indicate a window. But in this case, it looks like the metal of the body of the van has the same roughness as of the glass. so they mix, and that doesn't look good. The metal should be a little rougher, especially because it's super rusty. Delmi der Linksten Praline says tire looks brand new, but car itself old. Yes. Nerda says I've seen those types of vents without windows. Oh yeah, with the doors, there's just the driver window. That's true. But some with windows do exist, like an SUV. Praline says, why not making the guy sitting on the car dirty as well? Yeah. I mean, his jacket, his hoodie looks a bit dirty. Unless that's the stamp. HR2393 says maybe get rid of the tires and place some bricks in there. Well, that could work. And if it was me, I would definitely take the tires out and use on my own car if this is an abandoned vehicle. And if it is abandoned, the windows should be super dirty. You shouldn't be able to see inside. Just like a lot of leaks, leaving little space between. About the water tower. Okay, there's something wrong here. The ladder seems too big for the water tower. I don't know how it is in the USA. I mean, I've never seen a water tower, a conventional water tower, IRL. But I would imagine they are bigger than that. Like this could fit maybe 2 humans inside. Because the guy can stand over here on the ladder. No, wait, that's wrong. When you're climbing a ladder, your hands are here. You can grab the next one, and your feet are over here, I think. Something like that. No. Praline says icicles on the water tower. That'll be too much. It's not that cold. As you can see, the snow has melted a little bit, so icicles would not be a good idea. But that brings the point that there's no snow on top of the water tower, and it is made out of metal, so we would definitely get a lot of snow there. It's also super slanted though, like this is gonna fall for sure. If it hasn't fallen yet, it means the water tower is empty. So it's just a prop for the scene. There is a light source over here. It looks like it's not a campfire. You can see there's some height to it from the van. If it was a campfire, the light would be over here. So maybe another car in the middle of nowhere. Maybe I'm looking too much into it. Let's try and review it. The texture of the car is too old. You would not get this rusty unless it's been way too long. The tires are brand new compared to the body of the vehicle, so make them old. The windows are too clean. There's a back face here that I don't think you intended. There is snow on the ground, but not on top of the car nor the water tower. The guy is not wearing socks when it's clearly cold outside. I don't know why he's crying, but having cold feet is not gonna help your situation. And that's just me, but I think the pants are too tight. I don't like tight pants. I'll make them loose a little bit more here, adding some folds. Yeah. It'd also be warmer. I don't know how warm skinny jeans are. But yeah, the character itself is well modeled. The car is well modeled. The water tower too. It's a well modeled scene that doesn't make a lot of sense when you look too much into it. I like the sky too. The sky is really cool. And it has a contrast with the orange light you have here. So yeah, thanks HP 2009 for your submission. Next one we have Nerda, who is on stream with his character that has 53,000 triangles. Okay, where are those triangles? Because that seems like a lot. Maybe you're counting the weapon too. So the weapon maybe at 5,000 triangles, making this like a 40,000, 48,000 triangle guy. Ah yes, trying to make a visor using extrusion. I know how it is. Doesn't work out too well. When you want to make a visor, I suggest you take a curve. You make the shape you want, and then use it as a knife tool. There's a tool called the Knife Tool Project Knife Tool, something like that. That when you have a mesh that is just one edge in front of another mesh, you select that one, the edge, then the mesh itself, go into edit mode, select everything, and then use the knife project tool, and it's gonna cut the edge out of the mesh so you can delete it. The lights are cool. The texture here is nice. I don't know why he has a triangle, but it's a cool style. There's an error there. It's weird. You claim this has 53,000 triangles, but it is low poly here. So you must have both the inside and outside, and the whole character in between limbs is also there for this to have as many polygons as you claim. The armor is very simple. It's like you just took the mesh off the leg, duplicated it, extruded, and modified it a little bit to fit in. So not a lot of planning on the armor itself, except the torso piece. I like the gun, kinda. I think it is a shotgun based on the 2 barrels and the large A12 magazine here. You don't really need a crosshair for a shotgun, but sure. It works, it's not a problem. The stock is good, although a bit wonky. It's a very wonky model. like weird transitions. It doesn't have a good flow. Even though it is hard surface, it should flow nicely. The body is really high poly. I actually transplant. This is not near the author thing saying. I actually transplanted the armor from a node body. Huh. So the armor was made for a node version of this guy. Okay. How many fingers does he have? There's something strange going on with the lighting here. I don't know what's going on. Looks like you have a red light, a cyan or a blue light there, and then a main light over here. So the red light you added, it's really hard to spot. This would be your main light. The blue would be your complementary, the secondary light source. Now for the red, you could do a rim light. So he would have a little edge probably over here, all around his body, but not on the side. So moving the red light behind him would be a good idea. It's a very simple texture for the bodysuit. I don't know about the symbol here. It seems too large on the chest. I think it would look better if you closed this off and then inserted the symbol. Not like another piece, like something that's part of the armor, it's indented into it. It's for a game. For a game, huh? It has a purpose, okay. Okay. You usually get this kind of poly count when you have hair on the character. You don't have hair, because there's a lot of hair cards going on. So you should definitely optimize your model. You need to delete any part that is not visible. If the character cannot change armor and nothing can happen to it, it doesn't have to exist if the player cannot see. This looks too flat and too pointy too. So try reworking his waist there. Maybe apply a subdivision surface just to get something rounder and then work on top of it, removing some edges. You will be able to swap armor. Okay, so having the character behind is important. You can still delete some of the insides of the armor. Yeah, and I know it can handle it. But having that thought, it can handle these many polygons. So we can go a little further. That leads to people making characters and objects with high poly count, and when you try to render everything at once, computers with low specs will struggle a little bit, and people will have to reduce the quality, and I wouldn't want that for my players. So it's nice to think ahead and reduce what you can. The neck part is kinda strange. to get those shadows, this thing must have more polygons than it should. I think. So you can definitely reduce a little bit over here. It use a high poly model to bake normals. I highly doubt it. I think this is just it. The game is first person, so you see through that head. Sometimes when the game is first person, we just remove the head as a whole, just adding an object to make shadows in the back, so it doesn't have to be detailed like it is here. If it is first person, then it doesn't make much of a difference having their armor, because the player is only gonna see it when he looks down. I think I'm reading too much into it. Pauline says, also, I think it is a FPS game. The hands should be much more detailed. That's true. Your focus should be on the arms. Those parts should be perfect. The chest matters less. The gun is good, as it should. There's something weird going on here. Maybe you didn't add sharp edges, I don't know, for the gun. So yeah, let's try and recap. That's all the Ctrl Z's I have. Make more detailed hands, and make sure you have a good rig for an animator to work with. They need to be able to close the fingers in the proper way. Usually when you try and rig a hand, you forget about I don't remember the name. The rotation of the bone, whatever the name is. And when you select several bones and you scale them on an axis, on their normal z-axis, they should close. But if you don't pay attention to the roll of the bones, they will do weird things that they shouldn't. So careful with the rig. Reduce some of the details on the head. The player will... You probably have an inventory that shows the head. In that case, that's alright, but if you don't, you can reduce the details on the head, because he'll only see a shadow. I think that's accidental depth of field. Okay. You are the animator as well. Also, you're making the game by yourself, huh? That's rough. Now they need to be even more careful because you are the one getting the end result. I forgot what else. Oh yeah, for the render, move the red light for it to be a rim light. I think it would look way better. I don't like his waist, it's too pointy and too flat. The armor as a whole is super simple. And having armor on the biceps doesn't seem very practical. Like if you're gonna have to lift an object or you have to flex, it's just gonna get in your way, you know. And also it's gonna keep bobbing up and down because there's nothing to hold it there. Usually to protect the biceps we have like a pauldron and then some plates that go from it, so they are held on your shoulders that don't move very much. I think that's all. Oh yeah, there's an issue there. Having those things on the shoulders, isn't it gonna get in the way of the player if he looks to the side? Well, if you try, there's construction going on in the apartment above me. I'm so sorry if you can hear that sound. And now that I think about it, when you look around, you're probably gonna move the whole character, so you won't see those problems. But yeah, thanks Nerder for your submission. Let me turn up the music a little bit. I feel like it is a little too quiet. Next one is from BPR. So, not a robot, and this one has 48,000 triangles. I don't know why you sent me a screenshot using Eevee. I think it's Eevee. Yeah. But yeah. So he has a weird mouth hole there that I don't really like. There's all the fingers on the feet. That's nice. The feet look good. That's good. Nice calves, nice thighs. I don't know why you separated that part. Doesn't seem to serve a purpose. If it doesn't change anything about the model, it's just how the render works, and it facilitates previewing the final result, but it doesn't change your modeling at all. He doesn't have hands. Maybe those are guns? I don't know, but what purpose does a robot have without hands or tools to grab stuff with? Hey Nerda, a waist like this is a way better call. It's more natural, more organic, I like to say. For armor, that looks cool, having the abs being able to open out, maybe show the power core. I think the shoulders are too large for no reason. Yeah, I don't know why he has a light there. Maybe it's like a patrol robot and he has like his guns like this. Like this. And when he spots you, the lights go red. That's a good idea. The light on his chest and on his head are too small for a game indicator. For the head, it might be just a headlight, in which case the size doesn't really matter as long as it is strong enough. But the chest one should be a bigger indicator, or something like that. Prolane says, maybe a joke. I use Eevee for real life shading when making a scene, but Cycles is for me still the only real render engine. Oh, real time, not in real life. Yeah, you can get Eevee to get some pretty good results, realistic ones, but you need to mess with the light settings a lot. Oh no. I don't know why he put the robot on Oh, that's just an HDRI. Okay, just for the lighting. It's a little dark to see him. And this must be here so he can move his arm, I imagine. So yeah, it's a good concept except for the pauldrons and the thighs and the mouth hole, that weird mouth hole. So I would make the chest light bigger, a better indicator for whatever. Maybe even the ones on the biceps. Make them a little bit thicker. I'll make the shoulders properly sized. They don't need to be oversized. At least it doesn't seem to have any purpose being that big. Unless he stores ammunition in here, I would make it a solid piece. The rest of the legs is good. Very nice waist. Very nice knees. Awesome feet. Although you could easily get away with just something like that. It's not like you'd have to move the toes individually, you know. Maybe his hands are rockets. Then he would need ammo for the rockets. He can store what? Maybe 3 rockets at the maximum here? Oh no, he can't go from the biceps to the hand because it moves. Maybe 2 rockets. A machine gun would make more sense, or a laser gun. But yeah, definitely some potential here. So thanks BPR for your submission. This one's from Tammy. Now, I know there is a tutorial for Mjolnir online, and I imagine Tammy followed it to make all of this. However, the materials, I think he made it on himself, and the metal was very well done. The inscriptions, the details here and here are well positioned and texture, so good job. I know he was having trouble doing the leather strap, and he ended up looking cool. Don't know which one of the techniques we suggested he used, but yeah, it looks dope. And as for the scene, it is a cool scene. You have some foreground elements out of that are blurred because of the depth of field. It's not just a plane. There's a little hill over here, adding to the realism. And there are some mountains in the back. There's just one little problem. Right here, it should be the same height as this one, or should it? Because the camera is looking kind of down. So would this part be the same height as the one over here, or would it be higher? Because the difference from this height from here on the render itself is so small, I think you shouldn't have snow there. The mountains look cool with the snow here and there. I don't know why this space is empty, but somewhere along the way you kind of lost the transition from snow to rock. And yeah, you should keep it at the top. There's very little variety of vegetation here, but that's not a real issue. Maybe having a few taller grass patches, but other than that, it's okay. Overall, it's a really cool render, and it's a very well modeled Mjolnir. I would just change the mountain here to make more sense. And there should be snow over here, since there is no there. And maybe adding some more vegetation variation. But yeah, good job, Tammy. And thank you for your submission. This one is from Woko Flocko, and he liked feedback. He used Eevee. Like I said, using Eevee doesn't affect your model, just the render and how fast you can preview your results. I'll just keep in mind that this is using a real-time renderer and not a realistic one. The first time I looked at this, I had no idea what it was. Maybe a bike? I thought it could be a motorcycle, but this part right here will be very weird, and the antenna doesn't allow anyone to climb or to stand or to sit comfortably, at least. If it's not a motorcycle, it's maybe like a film roller. You know, those very old cameras, they use the roll of film. And that would make more sense. You'd have the film go here, then it gets stabilized there. I mean, it would go straight, of course, but as a precaution or to visualize what is going on. That part right there looks like something military-ish. Yeah, because the green and the huge amount of boats. Speaking of which, there is way too many boats on this thing. It doesn't make sense. You have all those pivots or boats, but you don't have a line that separates plates. You should have like yeah, it doesn't make sense because over here you can separate, like down here, going straight down. But you need to double down, like having two sets here, so you can separate it there. You can separate it here. Do something that curves. But you wouldn't need those, nor those. Maybe a few because it is curved, but definitely not as many as you've made. You don't just add bolts for style. There are some wires going from here to there, so this is definitely the battery powering everything. I don't know the purpose of this. Maybe it's a gun, but it only shoots straight up. An antenna, then Y2, that would cause interference. No, it wouldn't. the old times when you had cable, we would use an antenna, two antennas. It could be each adjusted on its own. So antennas is a possibility. Other than that, I don't know. There are some vents here, and I don't know what it's called, but it's something to put a cord or some rope through. But why? Yeah, maybe as some sort of airdrop? Then why do you need it down here? Maybe to wrap all the way around. Yeah, and keep it safe. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I mean, if you're wrapping all the way around, then you don't need that. Okay, it doesn't make sense. I think this is a top-down view. It says near the... A top-down, huh? So it'd be like a robot, and those are the shoulders, and these are like the drones, the drone helicopter thingy, and the battery on the back. Then why is this part so long? Hold on, let me look on Discord from Waka Flocka. Oh no, I don't think I can look anyone while I'm streaming. Yeah, shame. It could be a top-down, yeah. Still doesn't make a lot of sense though. It's confusing. Because if it is top-down, you have those huge antennas going straight forward, and this would definitely make it unbalanced, especially because you have whatever those are, the helipad, the helicopter thingies to go up and then go destroyed. You have a slot here for sliding something, but there's nothing attached. Doesn't make a lot of sense. It is well modeled though. I like the indentations you made, the details. The pipe's good. The battery as well. You definitely use something like box cutter, or at least took inspiration from it. Okay, the model makes little sense. It is well made, but you have a lot of boats, and I no idea what this is supposed to be or what orientation it is. Maybe some sort of engine mixed with a radio, says Proline. Maybe remote controlled motorcycle. If that's the case, then this part would not scratch down because there wouldn't be any weight on top. It's just the... yeah, it could be a remote controlled whatever. But that part doesn't make sense, and there's still too many boats and no plates. This was smart to do. Kinda joining the centerpiece with the side piece. And it is very secure with the boats there and another one over here. But that was smart. Also looks cool. Okay, thank you Waka Flocka for your submission. It looks good, I just don't know what it is. Next one. Also getting kind of tired. Another one from Nerda, and another robot. This one is cooler than the last. Makes more sense to me. There's a joint for the knee, nice. The hand seems a little small. That one is far back. Okay. I don't like this part, but I like the shoulder overall. The power cells there. Cool. Nice evil face. The gun seems to be a sniper, judging by that. But the crosshair is the same as the shotgun you showed me. And a long range weapon would definitely use a different kind of crosshair from a shotgun. Even if it is like a Cobra lens with just a dot. A red dot, perhaps. It's an energy rifle. I mean, it wasn't a robot, but it's armor. They don't need crosshair really because they. True. It's not like they're gonna put it on their eyes. I mean, maybe to increase their odds of hitting. The legs here, they look like exoskeleton power legs, you know? Wait, there's something wrong. Like, he has a leg here and it's going down there, but this one is going here and then forward. So this one would be going there and then forward again. It's a weird leg system. It's like a horse. And the back leg is like this. We draw, yeah. It's backwards. I am so sorry. Let me mute myself while they. A ball joint. So you have some hydraulics here for suspension or... God damn it! It's some hydraulics here, but it doesn't work. It has to be straight for hydraulics to work properly. And this one is going in a weird direction. Didn't know how to rig them. Oh. Okay. So you'd need to attach all of the cylinders to You need to attach the cylinders to the backbone here, so they all would move straight. They cannot curve. You probably have like another bone here for the back, then one for the neck, and one for the head. What else? This part kind of breaks the flatness you had there. Yeah. Maybe change it to bevel this edge so it is over here and it tapers down there, so it maintains that visual style of the shoulder. I might have to end the stream early because of the construction. I am so sorry, guys. I haven't been able to do my own stream because of this for a long time now. Anyway, I like the idea. It's a very cool, very evil looking robot. Just be careful when you make stuff like pneumatic tubes to keep them straight and maintaining the visual style all throughout the robot. Like, he has a certain flow, you know. From the side, removing the middle part, it will look okay, because it is flat here on the forearm. What is he doing here? What is this finger? Maybe that's the palm of his hand? I don't know what this is. If he's using a rifle, maybe... Yeah, he should be holding it with two hands. That's true. So he should be holding it over here to be more stable. So yeah, thanks Nerda. I'm just gonna try and go a little bit faster because the construction is gonna drive me crazy. So thank you, and next one. The fingers look disconnected, sort of like hovering. Ah, this one from HP 2009. Now this is a good scene, but it has a couple problems. So this is a neon Japanese sign that I don't know what it's saying. It's not Japan. The problem here is this. Now I suppose you're in Japan because you have this Japanese light shade thingy. You don't have to, but I suppose an American would not have this. And the USA is the only country that uses Fahrenheit. Also, they're just disconnected. Yeah, I know it is. You have to let me go back quick. When making fingers for robots, you need to have something like this. So this would be one bone. This would be another. They are connected, of course. But this bone controls the next joint sphere. That makes any sense. So when you move the top finger, it doesn't get away from the joint there. So yeah, having kanji mixed with Fahrenheit temperature, that doesn't make much sense to me. The coffee cup here looks a little too smooth. Oh, and you don't have a I don't know what it's called, like this thing to rest your cup and not stain your table. Should definitely add one, simple one, maybe even a napkin. Yeah, just a napkin over there. It's gonna look good. It has a computer that is not turned off, but has very low brightness. There's a light here, you can see it. Oh, there's something on the screen. But if there's something on the screen, this part should be lit up. So maybe this light is coming from over there. Whatever it is. The texture on the table is good, having those imperfections. The clock here seems a little too simple, although futuristic. You should definitely add some buttons here, even if they don't make sense, don't have a purpose. Having buttons indicates the clock works. You need to set a time, maybe add an alarm, then a snooze. You need to be able to choose if you want Celsius or Fahrenheit. You have 154 here, and you're using Fahrenheit. That means it's the Americanized time. So this is 1:54 a.m. In all the other countries, we would also have this time without the a.m. But 1 p.m. would be 13:54. And you'd have 1:54 p.m. So you don't have that here. That's an issue. You have Fahrenheit, you need to have AM PM. The window has the raindrops, very nice. Someone passed a tutorial on the Discord for doing that. I didn't see the tutorial, but I do believe it's something like that. It actually looks like you used, what's it called? The thing that is used on water simulation. Is it bulllights? Bullongs? Where we have like a sphere and then another sphere, and when they get too close they kind of join, just like water droplets. Yeah, bulllights there. Got a window frame, okay. I'm just gonna pretend you can't see the handle for the window. Usually you can open windows. And yeah, nice steam effect from the coffee. It's not too on the nose, but you can see it, so you can pretend the coffee is hot. And the fact that it's all blue or white doesn't really bother me. The window does a huge favor for your scene. So yeah, this is good. I just the clock is my biggest problem. Because what it says doesn't make sense. So yeah, good job HP, and thank you for your submission. Next one is from HR2393, who is on stream. Hope we can still make it to the stream. Here's a Felix CIWS. The materials are placeholders, some feedback is appreciated. And you gave me some links that I didn't click. So in 2018 you made this guy, and this year you made this one. That's more detailed. I don't know why you switched sides for this thing. In this one you have a bunch of boats, and you've been here for the whole stream, so you know my problem with a lot of boats. On something that is not a plate. Oh, so this one is wrong. It was on the other side. Okay. And you have a different kind of voting system. A very strange ladder system. This is something that exists, right? Phalanx CIWS. So Phalanx CIWS. Ah, you must have seen this image. Doesn't show up there. So it's kind of like a shotgun. I mean, kind of like a machine gun, a minigun. Here's the ammo. That's a strange ladder system. It really does have two spots there. Are you supposed to fit in between? It's weird. Here's the thing that is supposed to hold the ammo, but you didn't model the ammo belt. That should go over there. How about the scale? Guns, that side is okay. And the lens of this thing is supposed to be bigger than that. So we got a scaling problem here. Those are too big and this one is too small, according to the reference. What else? What's that in the back? It's a lot of detail. I like those. Hold it together nicely, no excess. Some industrial bolts here. Okay, this is a problem. You have a 90-degree angle with two bolts meeting. Does that happen on the actual thing? Try and find an image that shows. Or is that model something you created? Yeah, because the thing seems to be separate. This is the best that I could, the closest one that I could find. And there's no voltage. Guys, if you excuse me for a second, I just gotta go to the bathroom real quick. Just gonna take 1 minute. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Where was I? I like the corner pieces, good job. And you need to decide what you're gonna do with the indentation here. I don't know the purpose, but it's there. Okay, there's something wrong here. It's not symmetrical. I don't know what's going on here. Looks like this one is thicker than this one. Yeah, it's definitely weird. So over here it's even thinner. Something happened. You used some kind of trick that didn't work out. You need to actually model this part. Model it, delete the face, put it there, then do a 360 spin with 4 parts. Gonna work out. But yeah, this looks like I was gonna say it's a cool toy. Actually 3D printed it for battleships, like an extra piece to put on a miniature model, you know. Yeah, it's good, very realistic. Did a good job. Just be careful with the scale, model that part, add the ammo belt, and do something about this. What could you do about? What could you do? And maybe just removing the bolts. Yeah, they don't need to be there. This is a solid piece. You are bolting one thing to itself. So yeah, remove the bolts. And remove those bolts as well. If you're gonna have them on this side, you need them on that side as well. But it's best to not have them at all. They're actually there. No way. Nope. Huh. Look at that. The perfect reference. Oh, okay. So let's open this up on a new guide tab and do a little zoom image. Oh, come on. Why you gotta be like that? Yeah, that's what I wanted. Yeah, it's true, the yellow boats are there. There are boats on one side, but not on the other. This model is wrong. It doesn't make sense. Unless there's something behind. But it can't be. Ugh. You see, this is what we get when they hire AutoCAD users to make reference models. Or those guys from 3ds Max. So yeah. You got close though. Anyway, thank you for your submission. Okay, we're almost done. I mean, they are the late entries. And people are talking the submission thread. No problem, anytime. This one is from Mukorea. He made a character. Now the original image was too large for him to upload on Discord, so this is a reduced size, a squished image. He reduced the size of the image, so it's not as high quality as he would have hoped. Deep breaths. Every time I'm gonna go talk, they start shredding shit. Okay, so very cool character. You can imagine some kind of backstory to her, like she's a college student or someone tried. God damn it! We're never gonna get through this. Okay, guys, this is gonna be the last one. I'm sorry for the rest, but I just can't. Not with the construction going on. The skin looks cool. The eyes are nice, have a nice texture. The lips, nose, everything is very well modeled, textured, and the materials are appropriate. Now, on the shoes there, it's very hard to make a knot in 3D. Usually you do some kind of faker, like you model the knot, and then you pretend the things are actually going through each other. So the knot over here he made is very simple, but he took into account that the fabric squishes on the knot because there's pressure going on here. So good job there. This is well made. However, this is like a shirt or a hoodie, but it doesn't look like you can wear this. It's more like a towel with sleeves. There's no opening here, you see. So that's not right. And the end of the sleeves, they don't have the little elastic that binds them to your wrist. It's not really necessary. There are pieces of clothing that don't have them, but I think it would look better if you added them. Very nice legs. I like how you made the knees a little darker. Nice socks, although it could use a little bit of improvement, but great for the style. The shoes are perfect, except for the end point of the shoelaces. There should be a little plastic bit, but it's fine. No one's gonna look as closely as I am. From far away, model is great. Super cool, the lighting is great. Yeah. The hat. They don't have the middle thingy on baseball caps. It's usually a big piece over here, and then it divides on the back and over there. Then there's one going in the middle for the back, where there's the opening where you can adjust the strap here, but not in the front. So this little seam here is wrong. You should make it rounder there. Remove the seam. I'm fine with the cap tab there. I'm not so keen on the transition lens on her glasses. I feel like this is a bit too dark. I would have preferred something more transparent without color. But considering her clothing, it might be summer, which would justify some kind of sunglass protection. So it's alright. Ponytail is good. The shirt, I don't like the sleeves here, but you did a good job faking the folds. The fingers, let's see. She doesn't have nails. It's not a problem. Usually it's just a hassle making nails, especially making them look good. That's alright. And the backpack here, we have, god damn you construction workers. Imagine waking up to this every day. Yeah. Not cool. Okay. So the straps on her backpack seem a little short. You see, this is the backpack I use, and the straps go like super long. Although her pack is a little lower than mine on me, but still, I make those a little longer, even though it might ruin a little bit of the style. At least you add a little more blue. Yeah, it's gonna be okay. You added a texture for her jacket slash hoodie here. So maybe you would like to add a texture for the straps on her backpack too. Her shorts. Yeah, they're good. I was thinking you could add some. What's it called? That thing that I'm thinking of, with a needle and a thread over here, just to separate it more, or maybe just a line. Yeah, this would be easier to do. Zacharias Reinhardt actually made a tutorial for doing this. Do this in yellow and it's gonna look super cool. And that's really all I have to say. All the rest is very good, very well modeled. So to repeat, she has a jacket on her waist, but it doesn't look like it is a jacket because it doesn't open. It's just like a towel with sleeves. There's nothing wrong there. I suggest you add some lines on her pockets to separate it more. It's gonna look really cool. Maybe add the plastic point that I don't know the name of on her shoelaces, and increase the size of her backpack thingy and the textures too. Other than that, very good job, Mukori. And with that, I'm gonna get out of here because I can't take the construction anymore. Thank you all so much for watching, for lurking in chat as well. Those that did some commenting, that was cool. Next week, I mean, if we have 10 submissions by next week, we're gonna have a special guest doing the render roast. Yeah, I don't even know when it's gonna be done. I'm gonna try and keep it a surprise for you guys. But expect great things next week. So yeah, I'm gonna go, and I hope my feedback was helpful to you. If you need any more help, join the Discord. We have several channels to help you out with modeling, lighting, rigging, and yeah, anything you need, we're here for you. Thanks guys. Thanks guys. Bye. See you all next time.